everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly
I don't want to know.
that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
First down, here's the run with Martin. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. Jameis to throw it. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
On draft night, I kept wondering, why is O.J. Howard still on the board? And they ended out at Tampa at number 19, and they're ecstatic to have this guy who ran 4.51.
Actually, the first time that the Bucs have ever drafted a tight end in round number 1. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Mike Evans, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. And he puts it through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky will throw. It's brought in by Kevin White. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. On second down, Trubisky. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Now Trubisky to throw. That is incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And you know that one has to feel good. In his third year now in the NFL, finally the first touchdown reception in the career of Kevin White.
He's had to battle so many injuries, just could not stay healthy, really eliminated his first 2 seasons in the NFL. That's got to feel great, and I think that football is going home with him.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. A reminder coming up tonight, Green Bay visits Atlanta. Sorts of storylines there. A playoff rematch. Also the opening of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then on Monday night, the Giants host the Lions.
So the Giants play on Sunday night and Monday night to open the season.
Yeah, 2 under the lights. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Jameis now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howard. On second down, Martin. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Over the middle to Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
For young quarterbacks, having that primary target's a big deal, and Mike Evans serves as that for Jameis Winston. Evans led the league in targets in 2016.
Went after him a ton. He also was 6th in catches, 4th in yards, and tied for 2nd in touchdowns.
And played in his first Pro Bowl.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw.
And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And this is complete to Zach Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Now Trubisky on first down. Completion left side to Miller. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On first down, Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Again, it's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete.
Brandon, looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now it's Trubisky. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the red zone now, Winston. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. On second down, Winston again. This will be caught at about the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jameis again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans in the final seconds of the first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, good move. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Robert Ayers. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. With it is Jackson. The quick feet by Jackson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This complete to Martin, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know. Yeah. The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example. Breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run. Martin. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you're...
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. And it's a fumble. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead. Here to start quarter number 4. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him out.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start the drive with Martin. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it. Here's Martin. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
All right, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Trubisky on the grab. It's Reuben Randall. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Gerald McCoy continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Winston here to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Following the penalty, Martin. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
3rd down and goal from the 6. Martin. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down. They go play action. Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's third and short.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going. Check tight. Check tight. Ready. Wait.
Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. You have too many players on your team. Choose which players you want to cut. Before this week's game, make sure to install your game plan.